We have seen so far MR1, MR2. Now we will see MR3. MR3 is the proceedings leading to amount payable to the landowner for the lands declared surplus. Under MR1, proceedings leading to the declaration of surplus has been dealt with. For the land so declared as surplus, payment has to be made to the landowner. This is being dealt in MR3, that is Master Register 3. The crucial date for determining the compensation is the date of publication of the notification under Section 18(1), irrespective of the commencement of sealing proceedings earlier at any time. The determination of amount are to be calculated in two methods. One, the lands which were notified as surplus prior to 27th October 1978, and the second method is the lands which were notified on or after 27th October 1978. 27th October 1978 is the date on which the Ordinance 14 of 1978 was promulgated. Amount has to be calculated for the lands notified as surplus prior to 27th October 1978 as per the Schedule 3 as per Amended Act 39 of 1972. It is called as pre-ordinance method. For the lands notified as surplus on and after 27th October 1978, amount has to be calculated as per Schedule 3 of Amended Act 11 of 1979, which is called as post-ordinance method. The landowner is not entitled to the market value for the surplus land as per Section 50 of the Act. The landowner is entitled to be paid only the amount determined in accordance with the provisions of Schedule 3 as in force on the date of publication of notification under Section 18(1). The amount payable to the landowner is to be paid only after following the statutory proceedings by passing orders and publication of assessment rolls as stated in this slide. Now we will see the procedures in the payment of amount payable to the landowner. Under Section 51, every person whose right or title or interest in any land is acquired by the government should be paid as amount according to the rates specified in Schedule 3. Every person claiming amount for the lands acquired should under Section 52 read with Rule 41 prefer the claim to the authorized officer concerned within 30 days from the date of publication of notification under Section 18(1). Whether the claim is preferred or not, the authorized officer should, under Section 53A, determine the amount with reference to the rates given in Schedule 3. Issued under Section 53A, read with Rule 45(1), prepare a draft assessment roll in Form 22. On publication of the draft assessment roll, the authorized officer should, under Section 53B, arrange to serve on the interested persons a copy of the draft assessment roll, the statement in Form 23, and the notice in Form 24. The manner of service should be in accordance with the provisions laid down in Rule 8. If any objection is filed in time, the authorized officer, after considering the objections and after giving the parties a reasonable time and of adducing evidences, shall pass order under Section 54 on the basis of enquiry and evidence. Against the orders of the authorized officer, an appeal lies to Land Tribunal under Section 78(1). The authorized officer should, under Section 55, carry out corrections in the draft assessment roll based on the orders passed under Section 54. The authorized officer, under Section 55, read with Rule 47, publish finally the assessment roll. Against the final assessment roll, revision lies before the Land Commissioner under Section 82. If no objection is filed in time, the authorized officer should, under Section 56, read with Rule 47, publish finally the assessment roll. Entries in the assessment roll published finally under Section 55 and 56 are final and conclusive. Under Section 59, the authorized officer should rectify any bona fide mistakes found in the draft assessment roll or final assessment roll either of his own motion or on application from the persons concerned. Similarly, under Section 50(10), the authorized officer should rectify any arithmetical or clerical mistake found in the draft assessment roll or in the final assessment roll. Land so declared as surplus, how to calculate the annual value is shown in this slide. The annual value is calculated with reference to paragraph 3 of Part 1 of Schedule 3. If the lands are classified as wet, dry or Manaveri unirrigated, the annual value is 20 times of the land revenue. If the lands are dry land and Manaveri irrigated from government source for 2 or more crops, the annual value is 20 times of land revenue plus rupees 9 per acre. If dry and Manaveri with one crop, the annual value is 20 times of the land revenue plus rupees 5 per acre. If lands are dry and Manaveri irrigated from private source, 20 times of land revenue plus rupees 5 per acre. For wasteland, that is land remaining uncultivated for 5 years immediately preceding to the date of publication of notification under section 18(1), is 5 times of the land revenue. For calculation of amount, double crop and single crop and actual cultivation, the details recorded in revenue records have to be taken into account. After arriving annual value, the amount payable is to be determined. The amount payable is determined with reference to paragraph 4 of part 1 of schedule 3 by applying multiples of the annual value of the land at 10 times, 9 times, 8 times, 7 times and 6 times respectively for each successive slab of rupees 3000 and the balance at 5 times. Now we will see how to calculate the value of trees that are in existence on the lands acquired by the government. The value of trees is to be determined with reference to paragraph 5 of part 1 of schedule 3. For trees grown by human effort, 1000 per acre. For orchards, plantation and fruit bearing trees grown by human efforts, 3000 per acre. For straight trees of spontaneous growth, rupees 250 per acre has to be fixed, provided that the total amount payable for the trees mentioned above should not on the aggregate exceed rupees 3500. These are the appeal provisions provided under the payment of amount payable to the landowner at each and every stage of the proceedings under MR3.